Oh, right, guys. We got Hero in the top left side here up against Team Liquid's ELAZER. Dragon Kaiser Gaming, of course, for Hero. And he went for a 13 pylon. So he could come right across this map, block the expansion, and he's forced ELAZER to take this third base. That's cool to see ELAZER taking this third. We see this sometimes versus Terran, but I feel like more often than not we see the front base. This one's a little bit further for Adepts and the like to get down to. Looks like a drone was skirmishing with that probe. Does get the spawning pool started, and you can see the drone says, "Leave! These are my minerals. They're not yours." Hero, that one kid who comes over to your house, is like a family friend or something. Your parents are like, "Oh, here's Jimmy's toys. You can go and play with Jimmy's toys." And then you come back home from wherever you were. This kid's not only playing with your toys, he's playing with your Lego. Because your mum is like, "Oh yeah, just play with his Lego. It's fine. Our toys are your toys." Except, guess what? The little probe friend that's come over has broken and literally every single thing you've built, he's just broken apart the pieces and started building like ugly impressionistic art. Your completed monorail system, your goddamn airport that you spent hours building, he's pulled it all apart. That's this probe. He's the guy that just basically hates the fact that you actually, actually built some proper things with your Lego, and he just tears them apart and makes random things. And you're like, "Mom, I told you not to let them play with my Lego." We say Lego. I know Americans say Legos, but there's no reason for there to be a plural on that, mate. The name is Lego. To be fair, what do the Danish say? Didn't the Danish invent Lego? They probably say Legos as well or something, and people will be like, "Oh, they say it this way." I don't care. I'm sticking with Lego. Legos sounds very wrong. Same way when I say, "Oh no," you guys think there's like 14 letters there that I don't even hear because I speak English different to you. How crazy is that? Accents are fun. Speaking English different is fun too. Oh, ELAZER's going to go Creep Tumor in the main. Now this makes sense, guys, because he wants the Lava Inject on the third base because that's where he wants the drones to pop out. He doesn't want to have to run drones from the main down there. So good little adjustment for ELAZER, but it does limit his mobility at his third for now because he doesn't have the Creep Tumor there. Is Lego the plural of Lego? Yes. Yes, it is, guys. We'd say, "Oh, that's a lot of Lego you got there. Oh, look at all these Lego pieces. There's tons of Lego." Yeah. I think Canadians will be with me on this one. Canadians usually side with Australians, even though they have the influence of America right there on the border. Anyways, Adepts are going to shade in. Let's see if they can get it on top of the drones. Ooh. Oh, okay, he's going to commit, but blocked by the Queens. Oh, good defense by ELAZER so far. Ooh, oh. Oh my god, not going to lose a single drone? Oh, that's a rough start. Can the Oracle capitalize, though? There's 2 Queens ready. ELAZER with a fantastic defense so far. He's down 6 drones, because that's just the way it normally is for Zerg at this point. If Hero can get 2 or 3 drones, he gets 2, but he does take a lot of damage doing it. ELAZER is very happy with his defense so far. He didn't have to overbuild Zerglings at all. He only built 6 Zerglings. His drone count will be skyrocketing now, and it's normal for Zerg to overtake in workers when you're both at about 40, which is exactly what's going to happen. And guess what? There's a Void Ray. So the Void Ray is going to look for Overlords, and ELAZER doesn't know about it. That's a problem. Even though he's got vision at the natural, this is smart, because if you kill that Overlord, it gives him time to pull back. But instead, Hero is going to try and snag a bunch of these Overlords. Oracle goes back and gets another 2 drones. It's almost dead, but you're not expecting Void Ray after Oracle, are you? And if he goes south, there's a bunch of Overlords just sitting right for the pickings. Oh, this is a really clever move by Hero, and ELAZER a little slow to react. He's got to pull these Overlords back, man. You can see he's pulling all 3 of these Overlords, but he's going to lose at least 2. And I think 1 more of those could go down as well if Hero goes for it, but he's already going to grab 2, and then he's going to go home and try to find this Overlord, which you can see is making the slowest getaway of all time. We are basically watching a senior citizen in a mobility scooter trying to hide in the Walmart car park from the police they know they're there. And it's a big car park, but it's going to take some real incompetency from the police to miss finding this Overlord. Let's see. Let's see if can the mobility scooter just slide in between like a truck and a van and maybe go on. No, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no. Senior Citizen does get caught there, and that's a very successful Void Ray opening for Hero. I really like this twist. Still has 2 Oracles behind it as well. That's definitely slowed down the growth. So even though ELAZER's Adept defense was perfect, we'll see what goes on in the next step. Lair is there as well. Roach Warren, extra gas on the way. So it's 2 gases so far. 3rd gas going up, but very quick 2nd Robo Bay. Hero has like no actual ground units, and he's already going for double Robo Colossus tech. If the Lings run up to the natural wall, I think they might be able to see those Robos as well. So I'm not the biggest fan of this placement, because you run a Zergling there, you see a Robo and a Robo Bay, and you're like, oh, cool. I'm going to rush Hive, because you're making Colossus or Disruptors, Viper counters, both of those, and don't get me wrong, Hero can add Psystorm, but if you get a few Vipers out, it just makes it so hard for Hero to push in. Stepping on Lego, still one of the worst feelings in the world, that is true. We'll see if either of these players can create that sort of experience for the opponent in this game. I can already see the YouTube comments on this video just being like, stop talking about Lego! I'm sorry, guys. Just having a little bit of fun here in this early game. And it seems like, wait, ELAZER's already going Infestation Pit. Does he know? I guess he just expects it. We've seen so much of these double Robo Colossi pushes on this map. He saw the gases up very early. I think he's just saying, hey, if I go straight Hive, Vipers, Lurkers, that's a solid way to play. So, man, it's so early on the Colossus. He needs to start his Hive the second this Infestation Pit finishes. Notice ELAZER also doesn't have gas on the 4th. I'd actually really like to see him take that gas sooner rather than later, because this is a very gas-heavy style he's playing. Infestation Pit's finished. Hive has not started yet. ELAZER needs to get a move on. The Oracles come in. They don't see a Hive, which is very good for Hero, but it also means if you start that now, just after he leaves, then he won't realize that you're going for that quick Hive. Roaches are being massed right now. A few drones being replaced. He hasn't put guys back on gas, and there we go. Hive starts, but as a... I don't know if it's worth hiding the Hive, because I feel like Hero's mind is set. He's going to push with 4 Colossus. He will chrono a Prism out in a moment. He should put all of his chronos into one of these Robos so we can get that Warp Prism out faster. But wait, he's already got the Warp Prism out. He's already using it to clear that push path. He's already thinking about pushing up north onto that 4th base. Oh, he's already preparing. 11 drones on the way for ELAZER. Uh-oh. And he hasn't built a Hydroden yet, guys. Hydroden's going to go down in a moment, but he doesn't have enough gas. Uh-oh. Without a Lurkiden, you can do it with Roach Viper for sure. But the fact that he's kind of thinking about putting this structure down, he keeps not. Oh, now he's going to go Baneling Nest? That's way too late. Banelings are worthless at this stage of the game. He's kind of stuck on just playing mass Roaches, in my opinion, guys. He did go +1 range, which is good. And Roach Ravager can definitely deal with a Colossus push, but wait, he's not going with 4 Colossus? He's waiting for Immortals and an armor upgrade. But there's no 4th base. Hero is going to just add a Roach killing army. I think seeing so much Roach Ravager, he's decided just hide what I'm doing, but no 4th base on the way, so there's no economic pressure. Like, ELAZER feels ahead in this game. He's building Spines, Spores, more drones, and Overlord speed. Uh-oh. ELAZER's building too many things that aren't focused on defending this push. He thinks he's got map control in a big army, but against a 3-base Protoss, you need to focus everything on defending this one giant shove. That is a lot of 1-1 Stalker Colossus with 2 Immortals in the back as well. Few Ravagers are going to go down. Nice. Biles manages to clip one of them, but he's going to lose 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 2 Ravagers go down. Oh no, a bunch of his Roaches get trapped. They were meant to be a backstab, but he accidentally F2s them home. Big mistake there for ELAZER. The Roach Ravager does try to come in here, but he's going to have to give up this base at the very least. Baneling speed's nowhere near done, so these Banelings are actually just a waste of money, in my opinion. I don't think they achieve anything. He's making a lot of Banelings right now. Oh man, the Roach Ravager Ling trying to come in. I think the Lings and the Banelings won't do very much. I think he needs pretty much pure Roach Ravager. The Lings do tank a few of the Immortal shots, but look at the hot pickups. Both Immortals get pulled to the back. None of the Protoss units are dying right now. The Zerg army's starting to lose a bit of its power. One of the Colossi on the bottom gets weak, but it doesn't go down. One does go down on the north. But a fantastic timing attack for Hero. Just stays 3-base, commits hard. ELAZER failed to realize that this was fully committed. And remember, I was pointing out that he kept building kind of drones and utility upgrades. He didn't need anything but Vipers, Mass Roach Ravager. Banelings did nothing. The double upgrades did nothing for him. The Adrenal Glands did nothing. He was too worried about the next step in this game and wasn't so worried about what he needed to be, which is easy for me to say. I get to see everything. But like Spines and Spores that he built up here 2 Spores, he didn't need any of that. So if there was a 4th base from Hero, I really like what ELAZER's doing. If there's a 4th and signs of him probing that 4th base and going like double Forge and stuff. But because it was this scenario, I would have liked ELAZER to stop 5 to 10 drones less than what he ended up building. Don't bother with all these extra Evo chambers and Adrenal Glands and Spires and all that. Just get out a couple Vipers, 2 to 3 Vipers as quickly as your Hive's done. Get the Hive faster, and he should have been able to hold. All right, Hero up a game there with a very just decisive timing attack. I thought he was going to hit the sharp 4 Colossus timing. Honestly, I think it would have been... It actually, if he pushed with that, I think ELAZER would have just not made as many upgrades, cancelled more things, maxed on Roach Ravager and held it. But once again, 13 Pylon here for Hero. Now you might wonder why 13 Pylon isn't 14 more efficient. It is, but if you want to get over there in time to block a 16 hatchery, if you go down build a 14 Pylon, you won't get across the map in time. So this way, rather than having to send one probe before the Pylon builds, then bring another probe 5 seconds later to build the Pylon, you just send your first probe down a bit early, build the Pylon 1 supply early, and that way a single probe can both build the Pylon at the natural and block the opponent. ELAZER goes to take the third base there. Hero did track him, so technically ELAZER could have pulled another drone down and got the hatchery. But Hero just happy to, of course, disrupt the Zerg early game. And this is the thing, is that unafraid nature of Protoss to commit really hard to 3-base timings in Korea. This is something Zest used to do really well. And I always felt Dark was so good at dealing with it, because there are games where if you just look at what Dark's doing in a vacuum and not what the Protoss player is doing, he has so little follow-up tech in his ZVP. He's just massing Roaches and Ravagers with like a +1 upgrade off 70 drones and doing nothing else. And you're like, well, this is not that big an economy. You don't have a lot of tech. Roach Ravager kind of scales really badly. Like, if the Protoss doesn't come to attack you, this is really bad. But Dark is so good at like getting a read on what the Protoss wants to do. And then you look at the game in context and you're like, oh, the Protoss really wants to hit a 3-base timing. And they come across the map. And essentially, Dark's even more all-in than the Protoss player is. And he kind of needs the Protoss to come and attack. But the Protoss attacks. They give him an engagement, which is what he wants. He crushes it with Mass Roach Ravager. And then he wins the game. And you're like, man, that would have been different if the Protoss like sat back and turtled up, right? Because the Roach Ravager wouldn't have scaled very well in the late game. But it's that ability to kind of read your opponent's intention in ZVP, which is very important. And that's what ELAZER failed on in the last game. He thought Hero was going to a later stage. He thought, oh yeah, we can go for kind of late banelings. He was a bit indecisive about the baneling nest in the first place. And then go for like double upgrades and adrenal and extra drones. It was just too many different things at once. If he'd gone directly for, say, +2 melee banelings, Roach Ravager, I think he could have potentially held that attack, but going for everything the way he did was not ideal. And for Colossus in general means Zerglings are not very effective units. You basically want pure Roach baneling. And if you can get something like Vipers, like I said, Blinding Clouds or Abducts to grab those power units, that'll be game winning. For now, Hero's opening up with a Stargate. Remember that Void Ray opening also got him some nice momentum in that last game. Put ELAZER a bit more in the dark. Never underestimate the psychological impact of all the little twists in Heroes openings that put you off balance. By the way, we did have confirmation in the Twitch chat after game 1. I had a bit of a discussion there as I was recording this, and people said, a quote from LEGO, they said, we're very proud of our brand. There was this whole quote. Apparently, they like it being called LEGO, not Legos. They said you can call it LEGO Toys, LEGO Bricks. You can call it anything like that, but LEGO's the brand, so please don't call it Legos. Apparently they have that on their website, which I thought was pretty funny. They're like, stop. So apparently it sounds as awkward to the Danes as it does to me as an Aussie. We've all been like, oh yeah, a whole bunch of Lego, whole bunch of pieces of Lego, whole bunch of Lego toys. Anyways, we'll stop talking about the Lego as this little Lego builder is going to get blocked by the Zerglings. Good pullback though. Prozor is so good at reacting and pulling those back in time. That Overlord does get taken out. Void Ray again. This time, ELAZER's only going to lose a single unit to it, and he's delayed the third by a couple seconds. If he can get that probe, that'd be great. If he darted past the Void Ray, he could have delayed it by a few seconds, but unlikely to actually catch the probe. Third base does go down. First Oracle's about to pop out. If we look at the worker count, very similar workers. As we said, Zerg, when they're both at about 40 workers, is meant to overtake. And you can say, oh, isn't he a bit slow on that? No, he's got 9 drones about to pop out. So we're going to see ELAZER start to overtake in the workers a little. He's got 6 queens with a 7th on the way behind it as well, so a very hefty queen count. Hero the Mad Dog dives right past those queens, trying to start a step back. It's a good run by. It's 3. Oh, he gets 4. It's a very good first run by. The Oracle does take a lot of damage, so it's not going to have great ability to dive again, but not a bad start. Second Stargate's on the way. And an extra gateway into a forge. Oh, please don't play carriers. I've basically got a rule for Hero, guys, which is if he builds carriers, he's going to throw the game unless he's massively ahead. Hero is one of the worst carrier users. I think he's going to go... I was going to say swap into Phoenix after these Oracles, but he's actually massing 2 Stargate Oracle. Oh, this is a real gamble, man. Dude, it's so cool when it works. Oh, he already sees the gas on the 3rd, though. It's a huge tell. So ELAZER seeing the gas on the third, he's going to come in and see the other one potentially. He's just going to go for plenty of queens, be really safe, because he knows there's some sort of double Stargate play. Otherwise, why would you take gases at 5 minutes on your third? Normally, you'd be getting the minerals up, then taking the gas. So, interesting. How will ELAZER respond? His lair is about to finish. 55 workers versus 55 workers. Dead even in that regard. A lot of Zerglings being built. Oh, he's actually looking to come in and try and surround on this base and maybe force Hero to show what Skytoss units he's building. And the lair finishes up a little low on gas right now, but he's going up to 5 gases. Is ELAZER. He's got Dropper Lords. What? Oh, he's doing the German taxi. ELAZER's going for a German taxi, guys. He's gonna load up a bunch of queens into an Overlord. He's gonna do a big shove of queens and roaches and ravagers. He's gonna drop the queens across the map. The Lings already forced battery overcharge out, but that'll be probably ready by the time the queens get across the map. Let's be real. Where's the other Dropper Lord? There it is. Just waiting for that Overlord speed to be ready. Now remember, one of the weaknesses of this build, which is going to be addressed in the next patch, is the Overlord takes so long to decelerate and stop moving and then drop creep. So if the Void Ray can catch them out in the middle, that'll be big. The Oracles fly across. All the queens aren't at home. Oh no, there's no defense. The Oracles are just going to kill the Spore Crawler and go ham on the drones. ELAZER's economy is going to D-Town right now. The thing is, can Hero defend the push at home afterwards? He should probably give up his third base. He's trying to get cannons, batteries. The Adepts are there. Oh, the Queen's dropping on the Void Ray. The Void Ray needs to get out of there. Hero, you got to get out of there. The Oracle's going to try and fight the Queens. Oh, but battery overcharge is still off cooldown. Oh no! Battery overcharge is still off cooldown. Without battery overcharge, the Void Ray Oracle cannot win that fight. Hero is going to be losing this base for sure. The Void Ray goes down. The Oracle's getting hammered. And remember, he's only got a few gateways, 2 of which are out front at this third base. So as long as that pylon goes down, he loses a very important part of his production. Hero only killed a few drones, about 10-15. So ELAZER's still got a 41 drone economy behind it. If he can kill the third, he can probably keep going from here as well. The Overlord does take a bit of a defecation on this base. Little self-replicating creep tumors spreading outside the third base. The German taxi starting to do very well here. Ling's going to try to get in there. Okay, Bile's going to try to go down on that pylon. He's trying to focus down the battery overcharge. Changes his mind and says, hey, the Cybercore's in reach. Let's go for that. Oracle's going to fly in. Queen transfuses are mostly used up. A few last transfuses go down. And he loads up at the last second. He says, okay, you win this fight. He's trying to drop, but oh, the Oracles are doing a lot of damage. Hero's going to hold. Maybe, maybe not. There's still a bunch of Roach Ravager. The Queens keep trying to redrop and then load up, redrop, load, redrop. The Oracles use up all their energy. And it looks like that will be held. Very nice hold by Hero. That final fight was awesome for him. Unfortunately, it comes from a very bad position. And he's going to have to use Revelation to clear this. Try to rebuild a third. He's got 13 worker advantage. And there's a fourth on the way. So ELAZER's making roaches, building more queens. He's still got these 3 queens. The Oracles want to do counter damage, but they don't have energy. They need to wait for more energy before they fly through and find it. He sees at least the third base isn't fully saturated yet. But I'm pretty sure ELAZER's just going to hit you with another brick. Another brick to the face. The solar school of ZVP. Restarts this third base on the right. Not a bad move. And maybe he can probe up. He's going to go Templar Archives. I always feel Disruptors are amazing here because the opponent almost always follows up with like Mass Queen Roach follow-up. Oh, already 3 of the Oracles get focused down there, guys. And 3 of the Queens still survive. The Stalkers are going to shove on creep, but they are so deep on creep. That Overlord gets sniped by the Stalkers, but there's no energy left on the Oracles is the problem. The Stalkers trying not to get overrun by those Zerglings. ELAZER's Zerglings don't have upgrades, whereas +1's done for the Protoss. Nice blinkbacks for Hero so far. Hasn't lost any of these Stalkers just yet, but the Lings will not be perturbed. So ELAZER's like, hey, you're so low on units. If we can get any Stalker kills, it's massive right now. And a lot of these Stalkers going down. The Oracles, I don't know if they just turned on their lasers or not. They have almost no energy. They can't really help here. The Lings focus down. One last Stalker in the back. These non-speed roaches overwhelming. It's not a pretty attack, but sometimes it doesn't need to be pretty. Sometimes when you've got the numbers advantage, simply forcing your numbers on top of theirs is what you want to do. And ELAZER is going to lose a few roaches on the return trip, but look at that. Queens and Hydras joining in as well now. He's got Hydra movement speed upgrade. Hydras and Lings are on the way, transferring a few workers over to that 4. So as his main, there's Natural Mines out. ELAZER's going to have his mining stay very stable, and even though Hero is back up to a similar worker count, he's just got Stalkers, and he's trying desperately to make Psystorm to get himself back in it. Now, he still has these 5 Oracles. If they can find some damage, go around behind, find some Hydras on the rally or something like that, that'll be great. But they've got to be very cautious about wasting their energy. That creep working its way down the right side. There's also still self-replicating Zerg Doodoo at that third base that is spread a little bit there. Still an Overlord just chilling as well, funnily enough. Lings are going to come in and clear up maybe these gases in this gateway just to do a bit of free damage as well as remove some of the vision for the future. Looks like there's 4 High Templar with Storm, some Stasis Traps, a battery, no cannons up on this base, just a small pack of Stalkers as well. Hero needs more damage output, more Stalkers, more things that just do raw damage. ELAZER is just sitting on 60 drones, building a giant army. He's not looking to build the long-term advantage. He's looking to collapse onto the Protoss player. With no Overseer, the Stasis Trap does scare me a little bit. Stasis Traps can either be game-changing or do just about nothing, and this one's going to do a lot. Oh, pretty good Stasis Trap. Nonetheless, though, I mean, that Storm did nothing. He did it on the Stasis Trap units. Bad, wasted Storms for Hero. Hero cannot be wasting these Psy Storms. This Warlock's going to go down. He just spent all of his Storms. You got to keep it in your pants, Hero. Hero just wasted all of his Psy Storms. And what did he do? Save a gateway? Oh, no. Big, big waste there. Those were terrible Storms. He needed super efficient Storms. ELAZER baits him out. Great fight for Hero, though. Big Storm in the middle. The Oracle Stalker comes forward. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Ah, the Oracle's just barely getting gunned down by those Hydras. 3 of them somehow do survive. Oh, my God. You are kidding me. You are kidding me. Okay, I was hating on him for the bad Storms, but that one Storm in the fight and the decisive jump on top was good. The Hydras are coming in. The Queen's here. He's going to need to pull drones. ELAZER needs to fall back. He needs to pull drones right here. The Stalker's shoving on creep, fighting on creep. Much better here for the Zerg, but +2 attack is done for the Protoss. Oh my God, he accidentally loaded up into an Overlord. That was a bit of a misclick. If you can get rid of the Archons, that would be great, though. Remember, there's no reinforce here for Hero, whereas there is for ELAZER. One Archon falls on the left, the Hydra flank on the right. Falling transfuses are good, though. Very good transfuses from ELAZER, and it looks like the supply is going well enough. That looked like a heroic hold from Hero. Indeed it was. And maybe if he sat back, he could have worked his way back into the game. But he felt like, hey, I killed the army. I've got the momentum. I've got the opportunity. He went for the counterattack. And it was not the right call. By the way, guys, during this, ELAZER has spread the doo-doo inside Hero's main base. Oh my God. We got to go back. When did he do that? So he couldn't see the high ground initially. Oh my God, he did this like a few minutes earlier. So even though the creep won't start spreading up the cliff until you get a bit of creep up there. So he comes in, he drops the creep, and now the creep will spread from this tumor up there as well. And then he spreads it inside the main. Oh my God, and then he spreads it again at the end as well. And that gives, of course, Zerg vision through the base, even when you kill the Overlord, and it's just so annoying as well. So really cute. I love that ELAZER was doing that in the midst of the action. Shows that he was feeling a little confident at the very tail end of that game as that last tumor goes right in the base. Good comeback for ELAZER. All right, Hero kind of froze up and stopped spending his money at the end of that last game. Just got a bit too eager on the counterattack, and who knows, maybe if he was like just warping in units constantly and coming across the map, he could have done it. It was a bit odd to see that, but this is something we see from Hero a lot. Hero has a massive mental block when it comes to attacking into Zerg past the first like 8 or 9 minutes of the game. He's very decisive in those early stages, and then once it gets past those points, it feels like Hero is always playing a really good game, and then he will basically win a fight and always shove his whole army on creep, and sometimes not even reinforce like that last game. It still looks like Hero is... Usually he's either ahead, most PvZs from the early game, or he fights a way back into it from behind like he did. Man, that secondary hold on the third base was amazing from Hero. But unfortunate that he didn't just keep warping in units. He could have taken a 4th on the right side and actually played a slower game. ELAZER was only on 60 drones. I think Hero in his mind just doesn't want to give the Zerg the chance to build up 80, 90 drones and force it to late game. To me, it feels like Hero just is afraid of going to the late game because he's very, very, unconfident at that stage of the game. And I think it's because the late game of ZVP is all about small marginal gains. If you guys think about the difference between an RTS like Age of Empires 2, where even when you're cheesing someone, you're often looking to like deny a patch of gold mining or deny their wood line with the tower rush. Like you're basically slowly denying parts of what they can do, gaining advantages, small advantages, and stacking them on top of yourself and denying theirs. Whereas StarCraft, often when you cheese someone, you're like, here's my proxy 4x, here's 20 Marines and 10 SCVs, and I either win the game with this shove or I don't. You get to late game, it becomes a lot more like Age of Empires 2. You need that patience. You need to slowly build those advantages for yourself. And that's something that, I don't think Hero really has the patience for. I think if you put this man in an Age of Empires game, he would basically have a proxy workshop outside your base every single game. And, you know, there'd be like a monk bloody mangonel rush or something like that, or rams and monks outside your base. There'd be towers. And even then, he'd still probably not have the patience to kind of methodically work his way forwards. So I definitely want to see Hero be a bit more patient in the mid game. Like those decisive moves, he wins games with them that he otherwise wouldn't. So don't get me wrong. That's the nature of Hero. Decisive moves, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. He wins games where no other player would think you could push and win the game then. And it's a double-edged sword sometimes. Still the favorite in this series against the ELAZER. It's a big map. It's a macro map. Stargate opening for Hero. He's forced ELAZER to take the third, but no chrono on the second Adept. So it's just one Adept poking across. The other Adept's just going to be chilling at home. We should be seeing that Oracle start up. Actually, Void Ray again. He's really favoring this Void Ray opening. I like it. Creator has been very good at doing Void Ray openings recently. It's interesting to see Hero try it out so much. Depth Shades doesn't really find much, but ELAZER's playing pretty minimal on the defense. Just a few queens and a few lings in each mineral land. He's not really overcommitting at all. And Spore Trick. Nice Spore Trick. Very well done. So the Adept takes heavy damage. Doesn't really find any significant damage. Overlord's going to sacrifice in to see what's coming out now that he knows there's no Stalker out. And that will, of course, find a Void Ray coming immediately. It would be cool if he dodged the Overlord and tried to go get all the Overlords again with the Void Ray. I actually really like that choice. That being said, there's a third and fourth gas before third base. I mean, is he gonna cancel one? Okay, so if you see quick gases, that usually means 2 Stargate play. But Hero's like, oh, well, if you see the 2 gases, that's fine. I'm just going to play Twilight Robo. So he's just going full ground off a single Void Ray. And it looks like just a big, like a Warp Prism will get chronoed, and then it's just going to be Zealot Archon. But he needs a third base as well, or this is a little bit obvious what's happening. Definitely a bizarre opening out of Hero. It's hard to read. This is not a build order you'd copy, guys. He's relying on ELAZER being nervous and kind of misreading what's happening. And I, as the observer, I see everything. I'm confused at exactly how much he's going to commit. Is it a full-on 2-base push? Where the hell is the third base? ELAZER sees no third, so he's getting nervous. He's probably thinking about stopping droning completely and just making roaches. Wait, where's his Roach Horn? Okay, it's almost 5 minutes, no Roach Horn. Hello? You've only seen one Void Ray, no other Stargate units? ELAZER is forgetting his basics right now. Fundamentals of ZVP, guys. If they only build one Stargate unit, guess what? They're doing something very scary like Mass Charge, Mass Glaive Adept, something like that. You need to make a Roach Horn, as many roaches as you can, but we're just seeing masses of Lings and Queens. Not the ideal units up against a Charge Lot opening. That's a fake third base for Hero. He stopped at 45 workers. He's showing a third base, a late one that started at 5 minutes, just to give off the impression of, oh yeah, I'm taking a third. He wants the Zerglings to waste their lives trying to cancel this third. This is a bad move for ELAZER. He doesn't know it yet. The Adept's terribly positioned for Hero, though, so they get easily surrounded. And you know what? ELAZER can actually just kill this. That's a fake shield battery. He's trying to sell the story of I really want this. But he doesn't cancel it. He loses it. So Hero's throwing a bit of money away unnecessarily. There's still no Roach Horn behind it, though. ELAZER, you've only seen one Stargate unit. You know, I think he's convinced that this is a 2 Stargate play. The double gas, he's convinced. Oh, man, talk about selling a story. Hero has just sold him a story of, yep, where are we? I need my carriers. Where are my carriers? And the Archons drop, and ELAZER's heart sinks. Because he does not. He starts a Roach Horn now. He doesn't have the tech to deal with this. He's got 30 Zerglings coming home, but the drones! Oh no! Oh no, so many drones getting focused down. The Archons, the Prism, the Zealots, this is so scary right now. He's even canceled the third base and not restarted it, has Hero. One more Zealot warp in could end the day. But wait, there's only 4 gateways? The gateways are so late for Hero. Hero should have won the game right here, but he forgot to build extra gateways. What is this trash tier opening? He built the gateways after the third Nexus. So he can't even commit as hard as he should have been able to. ELAZER's droning right now. He needs to do nothing but make roaches, and he will easily defend the next wave if he does that. But he's just built 10 drones. He's building more queens. If he just masters roaches, I think he can shut this down. There's a Mortal Archon. This is such a dodgy build from Hero. If he just warped in like 5 more Zealots, he would have done so much damage. Hero tricked him completely, but he's been so inefficient to sell the story that the build isn't even good. He's still got a scary army coming. Immortal Zealots. As long as it's mass Roach and ELAZER starts making Ravages, he should be okay. He's making more Roaches. Melee +1. His Lings are going across. When he sees no third base, he needs to just build Spines. Anything he can to defend. He's not building Spines just yet. He builds 3 more drones and a Baneling Nest. ELAZER cannot believe that this is turning into another wave of all-in. He just committed. He cancel your upgrades, cancel your gases and drones. Nothing but defense right now. He can lose 30 drones and still be ahead in this game, but that's just a bit too much. Zealot Archon, the single Immortal coming in as well. The Void Ray joining the party is going to ruin those Roaches that rally over. Queen's Core out, and ELAZER getting completely befuddled because he cannot read the play. Oh, this is, you know what? Hero has just hard countered ELAZER, guys. I'm going to explain it, but look at this. It's just overwhelming. He's just hard countered him. Because ELAZER, I've always said ELAZER is one of the smartest, most logical ZVP players. He'll get a read on what you're doing, and he will counter it very logically, but also very predictably. So if you do something that makes no sense at all, ELAZER is incapable of playing the game correctly because nothing makes sense. You can't read my play and counter it if it's just complete and utter nonsense. And Hero sells some nonsense. ELAZER gets confused and essentially just builds way too many drones. His Roach Warren was too late for the first wave, and then he got too greedy after that wave, thinking, oh, this is just a light pressure. This is not an all-in. But no, it wasn't all-in. Hero's gateways were just too late. I feel for ELAZER there, but historically, this is what beats him. It's confusing plays. It's mind game plays and tricky plays from Protoss. So shout out to Hero there for selling him a few stories and making it so confusing. GG, well played, Hero.